Hi, welcome. Today's video is on conversions, specifically conversions involving squares and cubes, at least in the units themselves. So in the bowling ball lab, you had to figure out if your bowling ball floated and you wanted to compare it to water, and you knew that water had a density of 1 gram per cubic centimeter. What if you measured your bowling ball in inches instead of centimeters? You would have ended up with a volume of inches cubed instead of centimeters cubed. So you'd want to convert that to compare the density of your bowling ball to the density of water. How are you going to go about doing that? Because it's a cubed unit, not a unit by itself. Well, one thing you need to remember is inches cubed actually means inches times inches times inches. So here's the problem we're going to solve. Given that there are 2.54 centimeters in every inch, what is the volume of a bowling ball in centimeters cubed if the volume is 227 inches cubed? Well, the first thing we're going to do is figure out what we're solving for. And I put this down here already. We're solving for centimeters cubed. What is the volume of a bowling ball in centimeters cubed? That's what we're going for. Step 1, what am I looking for? Did step 1. Step 2, what am I given? I'm given 2 pieces of information. I'm given 227 inches cubed. This should be inches cubed here, and not just plain inches. So let's correct that. That's 227 inches cubed here. And I'm also given 2.54 centimeters in every inch. That phrase, in every, should remind me that that is an equivalence. So 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. So these are the 2 pieces of data I have. Now I have to decide which one I'm going to start with. Well, if you remember the hints, you're going to start with the one that's not the equivalent. So I'm going to start with this 227 inches cubed. I'm going to put it over the number 1. And notice there are no units on the bottom. It's just 227 inches cubed over 1. And now I have to go from inches cubed to centimeters cubed. So step 3 is, do I need to look up anything else? Well, I don't think so, because I have a piece of information here that already relates inches to centimeters, and I want to go from inches to centimeters. The trick, though, is I want to go from inches cubed to centimeters cubed. So I'm going to take this fraction right here. I'm in this equivalence and making a fraction. I'm going to put the inches on the bottom so they cancel, and I have 2.54 centimeters on the top. But be careful, this is only 1 inch on the bottom, and this is inches cubed up here. So this does not cancel each other out. This only cancels one of the inches in this inches cubed. So let's rewrite it so you can kind of see that. So 227 inches cubed is 227 inches times 2.54 centimeters per 1 inch. One of these inches cancels, but I'm still left with inches squared, and I'm still only at centimeters, and I want centimeters cubed. So I'm going to have to repeat that again. I'm going to put another fraction, same fraction, with inches on the bottom and 2.54 centimeters on the top. Now inches cancel, another inches cancel, and I have 2 centimeters. So I now have inches times centimeters squared, but I still have this last inch to get rid of. So what do I have to do? I have to do this 3 times. So instead of doing 1 conversion going from inches to centimeters, I have to do 3 because it's inches cubed. So I have to get rid of all of these inches cubed. And I want to get centimeters cubed, so I have to have centimeters times centimeters times centimeters. So now I am ready to do the math part. So I've set it up so all my unwanted units cancel, all of these inches cancel, and I get what I want, which is centimeters cubed. So centimeters times centimeters times centimeters. So now I'm ready to do the math. So I take out my calculator, 227 times 2.54 times 2.54 times 2.54 gives me 3,719.86 cubic centimeters. But I have to go back and figure out my sig figs. This is multiplication, so I just count them. So there were 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. These ones don't count with sig figs, so I have 3 sig figs, and now I have to round this to 3,720 centimeters cubed, and I'm done, except I need to also check my answer. Inches canceled, centimeters I got, so the units make sense. And the last thing I want to check is the numbers. So this is true, 2.54 centimeters does equal an inch. And should I get a big number? Yes, because there's lots of centimeters in 1 inch. So if I cube them, I'm going to have lots of centimeters cubed in inches cubed. So it all makes sense, and I did it right. So let's take a look at another example so you kind of get the habit of doing this. So let's say a rug has an area of 7.432 times 10 to the 4th centimeters squared. But I want to know what is the area in meters squared instead of centimeters squared. So I do this as I've done before. What am I looking for? Step 1, meters squared. What am I given? 7.432 times 10 to the 4th centimeters squared, and I'm going to put that over 1. So this is what step 1, what am I looking for? Step 2, what am I given? Step 3, do I need to look something up? Yes, I do. I need to have something that relates centimeters to meters. If it would be great if I knew off the top of my head something that relates centimeters squared to meters squared, but off the top of my head, I do know centimeters to meters. Hopefully you do too. And that is there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter equals 1 meter. So I have to look that up. So the next step then is to set it up so that units cancel. So pause the video and see which one goes on the bottom of the next fraction. Does the centimeters go on the bottom or the meters go on the bottom? So pause the video, answer the question, and see if you get it right. Did you get it right? Centimeters goes on the bottom, but I did not cancel all the centimeters. There's actually 2 centimeters here. This is really centimeters times centimeters. This only cancels out one of them. So I have to do this fraction one more time. Here I have it again, the same identical one. Centimeters, centimeters. Now I have centimeters squared, canceling out centimeters squared. And I have meters times meters on the top, and I get to meters squared. So my setup is good. So now I just have to do the math. So I take 7.432 times 10 to the 4th. I could probably do this in my head because we know how to do exponents in our head. This is really 10 to the 2nd and 10 to the 2nd here. So 10 to the 4th divided by 10 to the 2nd times 10 to the 2nd actually all cancels out, and I get an answer of 7.432 meters squared. So now I need to check my work. Did centimeters cancel? Yes, they did. 2 of them here, 2 of them here. I wanted meters squared. Yes, I have meters and meters. Is this equivalency correct? Yes, centimeters is small, so I need a lot of them to equal 1 meter, so that's correct. And my math is correct, so I'm looking good. So now it's your turn. The volume of a container is 4.58 centimeters cubed. What is the volume in meters cubed? So my first question to you is, what units are you looking for? Pause the video and see if you can answer that. Did you get it right? You're looking for meters cubed. The next step is to go ahead and solve it yourself. So pause the video and actually solve this problem on a piece of paper and see if you get it correct. Is this what yours look like? I'm looking for meters cubed. I started with 4.8 centimeters cubed over 1. And once again, I have the same equivalence as I've had before. There's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. I have to do this 3 times to cancel out because this is cubed and I need 3 meters on the top, so it's meters cubed. And I can do this in my head or you can plug it in your calculator. 4.58 divided by 100 divided by 100 divided by 100 gives me 4.58 times 10 to the negative 6 meters cubed. Does this make sense? Well, units cancel. What about the numbers? 4.58 centimeters cubed is kind of small. So meters is a bigger unit. So if this is kind of small, then I'm going to have very little meters cubed because meters is much bigger than centimeters. So I am going to have a much smaller number here, and I did. So I got it right. Thanks for listening. Hope you got your questions correct too.